welcome back. 34 of the best women's hockey players in the world will be at Scotiabank Arena this weekend for the CWHL All-Star game. You can see it Sunday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern on Sportsnet East, Ontario West, and 360 Kids. Natalie Spooner will be representing the Toronto Fury. And let's just say we go back a little with the two-time Olympic medalist.
You talk about a lot of ice available now on this power play. A 4-on-3 power play. Oh! What? Knock, knock, who's there? Gold medal in the face. That's who's there. Woo! Someone knocking.
Is that the hell was that?
Who's there?
Gold medal in the face!
Woo! Gold medal in the face, baby. Gold medal. Natalie Spooner. Welcome. Outstanding. Oh, I was much thinner then. Natalie Spooner joining us in studio. Again, a lot of you know that moment. A lot of you know our history. You win a gold in Sochi. Tim and I are thinking no one's listening to our radio show right now because everyone,
watching
including us, are watching you guys. Yeah. You win gold. We go nuts. You were kind enough to come in. So that's the history. And it's honest to God, I've done some fun things in my career. That moment and how you guys reacted to it back towards us from across the pond. It's one of my fondest memories in the entire business for me.
Yeah, I can't listen to a knock-knock joke anymore without being gold medal in the face.
Not to make this about us, but sometimes I do that.
We just did it.
Going back to 2014, forgive me if we talked about this again on air. So that happens in North America. The clip kind of gets on dead spin and starts to move. So you guys have your celebration. Go back to the hotel. Like, when did you guys know that clip existed?
Yeah, so we went back to our dorms or whatever we were staying in.
Village, yes.
The Athletes Village. And then we started looking on our phones, and it came up on there. So we were like, this is so funny. Like, who thinks, like, gold medal in the face? Like, I don't know who else would think of saying that.
It's an uncanny impression.
Yeah. So then we were like, man, we should just take pictures of, like, gold medal in the face. So we took a picture. I think it was me and Shannon Zabados, and then you guys saw it. And kind of history from there, but it was so funny. We were dying laughing.
All right, from the history to the present, CWHL All-Star game going this Sunday. Is it something that you like to play in? Like, is it a pain in the butt, or is this all fun?
No, it's definitely all fun. I mean, there's 34 of the best players that I don't normally get to play with. I have to play against them normally. So getting to play with them, there's Americans, Finnish players. I think there's like 20 Olympians playing. So I mean, I'm just excited to be able to play with that many great players and also have a lot of fun and showcase our talent in Toronto.
The excitement with this game specifically, and we'll get you to the league in a second, but for this game specifically, I find that it's kind of growing every year. And for people who haven't seen this before on TV and are thinking of tuning in Sunday on Sportsnet, people who'd like to come out in the Toronto area, how much fun is this? How much fun is it to play on your end, and what kind of an event should they expect?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun for us. I mean, I think we're always laughing, and this year we have Jerry D as one of the coaches, so I'm sure he'll have some good chirps for us. He already did on Twitter, so I think that'll be exciting. But for the fans, I think it'll be super exciting. I mean, there's not many places you get to see the best players in North America. Plus, we even have a Finnish goalie, so there's some great players that are getting to play in this game, and this is, you know, it's not that expensive to get in the building. So realistically, it's a great opportunity to bring your daughters, sons, whoever it is, out to watch some great hockey.
So am I reading correctly that you have two captains that have been chosen, the 5 starters will end up being chosen as well, and then you're just separating sticks, and that's how you're going to figure out, like old school pond hockey, throw sticks to each side?
Yeah, it's not quite like the sticks in the pile, but they're like in a bucket, and they just go pick.
Right. So is there anyone you're looking forward to playing with and or against?
Ooh. I mean, I guess I've never actually played with like an American player before.
Right.
So like,
because you're supposed to hate them.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, like when we get on the ice against
I don't like this idea at all.
Yeah,
I don't like Natalie Spooner playing with American players. Like, I have to be honest.
Yeah. When we get on the ice, like it's Canada-US, like I am definitely so competitive that it doesn't matter who they are.
Right.
But I mean, it'll definitely be pretty cool to play with them if I'm on the same team. But I mean, also some of my Canada teammates, like it's so fun when we get to play together and just get together and hang out because we don't always get to play on the same team.
Right.
Is it weird when you're at an event like this weekend, but there is someone involved either on your team or somewhere else where you do have some deep, nasty history with, and all of a sudden it's everyone there for the good of the game and the good of the league,
Yeah.
and you just kind of put them aside like, oh, it's good to see you. Is that going to be happening a little bit here too?
I mean, no. Like I think like it always in the back of your mind, you're like, man, like Hillary Knight scored that big goal on us. Like I hate that, you know, like for the Americans. But when you get, I mean, everyone is so nice anyways when you're in this environment. So it is just a lot of fun, and I mean, we get along once we're together hanging out.
It's kind of the one time that you can put all that aside and just be hockey players and enjoy that kind of kinship that comes with it. The one thing that I hear a lot on this show, from doing this show, is someone will come up to me every once in a while and say, how come you guys don't cover women's hockey as much as men's hockey or more? And my answer always to them is, when there are more of you coming up to me and saying that, then I think we cover it more. And I think the clip that we showed, there's no adversity. Like, we're not standing in the way of women's hockey. Is there a way to grow this game that you can think of in the last little while that kind of, like, how do we make this so that you guys are on our show all the time, we're doing highlights all the time? How do we grow the game?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of things. I think like the game is obviously already growing. There's so many young girls playing, and I look at those young girls and they're so much better than I was when I was their age. So it's definitely already growing and there's more young girls. But as for our league and getting, I mean, it's more games on TV, more people coming out to our games. So if you guys want a ticket, you guys are welcome to come on Sunday.
Nice.
But also, I mean, I think in the end, we would love to have a league that's, you know, more partnered. We are partnered with the NHL in that we're partnered with teams, but it would, I know as players, we would love to be under the NHL or just have that more support that people would look at our league and say, wow, like, this is the real deal. And I mean, it's starting to be that we are getting more fans. We're getting our games on TV. And
Right.
I think it's just a slow process for sure, but we're getting there.
Because every 4 years, let's be honest, every 4 years, the country is gripped by your team.
It's one of the biggest events.
And how do we translate that? That's my biggest thing. And the one thing that I always point to, and maybe I'm wrong, but I have a young daughter at home, and I think you have to get women, you have to get girls to go out and watch the games, because I think if there's a success story out there for women's sports, it might be the U.S. women's soccer team. And if you look at the stands, they're packed 40, 50,000, and a lot of those are women. Do you see it that way, or am I a little bit off on that?
I do see a lot of young girls and women that are the fans at our games, but I also think we need to broaden that to even young boys, because I think, you know, if these young boys are hockey players, hopefully they can appreciate a hockey game and great hockey players no matter what. And they might have a class with a young girl who is an awesome hockey player, but they don't realize that, wow, she might be just as good as him, or she might be able to go play in the CWHL just like he has a dream of playing in the NHL. And I think that that's something that's so special for not only girls but boys to realize that there are great female role models out there too for them to follow.
Right. Just realize the dream, period, no matter what the dream ends up in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Before
what league it ends up in.
Speaking of, I know you are a soldier, not a general, as am I, as am Tim, but you're not the only league in North America. There's, in terms of growing the game, there's been a lot of discussion of getting women's hockey under one more structured umbrella, so to speak. From a player's perspective, how important do you think long term is that to have the one league that everyone can point to instead of the current situation where that's not necessarily the case, but it could change soon?
Yeah, I think that's definitely the goal. I think for all the players is to have one league and have all of the best players in that league, and then, you know, I think we would get all of the support. It's not like they have to pick one league to support or the other. So, I mean, I think, you know, I said it before, we would love to be under the NHL, and that's the biggest hockey league in North America, and people look at that and people watch those games. So we would like to have that same thing. Not saying we need to be the NHL. We're a bit of a different game. We would love to have our own identity as women's hockey, but at the same time, we would love to kind of have that partnership and have that support.
Nice. So the CWHL All-Star game goes Sunday, which is the 20th, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, Scotiabank Arena, and on Sportsnet.
A lot of fun, Natalie. You are always welcome.
Yes.
As you know, I don't have to tell you this, but it's great to see you.
Thanks. Great.
And have fun Sunday, and we'll be watching.
Awesome.
Natalie Spooner, she's our friend.
And a world champion.
That too.
And a gold medalist.
And a gold medalist.
And a damn good hockey player.